All right, let's take you back now to the gravesite, to our reporter Lutendo Bobodi. Lutendo, just talk us through what is currently happening now. Of course, we know that in a moving tribute there, Tito Mboweni was finally laid to rest.
Thank you so much. Tito Mboweni was a staunch Christian, and when somebody was honoring him, he said Tito Mboweni did not die. Rather, a pale horse and his rider just stepped at our threshold and snatched him away from us. He believes that now Tito Mboweni steps into eternity as he puts off the regalia of the ANC and now putting up the regalia of divinity. Whatever he said, whatever he did will remain in the memories of many people for as long as the cords of their lives shall lengthen. Amazingly, when people were inside that gravesite, it was somber mood, people's hearts throbbing with pain and crying hysterically. But now as they move out after the conclusion of the ceremony, everybody is smiling. And now people are saying, while death is painful and while we are mourning the death of former Minister of Finance Tito Mboweni, we should also celebrate the life that he lived, the sacrifices, the determination, the compromises that he made also for the nation, and man who became known all over the world for his intelligence, for his prudence. And this man now steps into eternity. This is what is happening basically right now. We have just moved out of the gravesite. Now it's only family members who are there. Now they are taking pictures around the tombstone. Now everybody's in a jubilant mood, and now they understand. Now they moved into, if I could say, an acceptance zone. Acceptance zone. I mean, they have now accepted that Tito Mboweni is no more. What is left for them is to celebrate his life, is to remember his legacy forever. This is what has been happening now, and people now are going back to the stadium. Some are going to Sasekani, a village where they'll have some refreshment and energize themselves, because it has been a very long day.
Indeed, it's also been a very long week, Lutendo. As we wrap up, just give me your reflections then, in as far as leading up to, the funeral service, your interactions with those that knew him outside of his family. Of course, we know that, the people of Tzaneen loved Tito Mboweni, and of course, he meant a lot to them, which is why when he retired, he chose to go back home, essentially.
Yeah. Yes, I had the privilege to speak to quite a lot of people, those who happen to know him, not only politicians, not only his colleagues, not only those in high places, but also your ordinary people, those he used to interact with. I was particularly interested in that because we used to follow Tito Mboweni on social media, and the kind of life that he projected on social media was that of simplicity, staying relevant to the people. As I said earlier, not living millions and millions of miles away from reality. He was on the ground, visiting hospitals, visiting government facilities, trying to gauge the minds of people, what they think about the government, what they think about what is happening around them. So this is a man who left, of course, a vacuum in the hearts of so many people. This came out of all the interactions that we had with a whole lot of people on the ground.
Lutendo, thank you so much for that. Of course, Lutendo Bobodi there for us, Ebodweni. Of course, we had several journalists just covering this particular funeral service, and it has indeed, as he's rightfully said, been a long day, as we've also been covering a number of other funerals, including the Pastor Ray Macaulay funeral. Of course, it has been an interesting time too, just reflecting with some of my colleagues in as far as this particular loss and what it means for South Africa. But let's continue then to get more reaction. We now have a former minister, Professor Sehwai Santu. He's a former politics lecturer at National University of Lesotho. And he is, of course, going to reflect on the life there that Tito Mboweni had between 1984 as well as 1985.